Hello everyone and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. Are you ready to become a warrior today? I know that you are. Today we explore Warrior 3. Yes, love this pose. So this is definitely a strength building posture and a pose that works on balance. I also love this pose because it really forces me to quiet my busy mind as I'm really focusing in on what my body is doing, the sensations and everything else. Plus, if I don't focus, I may end up on the ground. But no worries, if we do fall, know that the ground is there to catch ya. Also, this posture is really great for perseverance. My first experience in this posture was what we would call an epic failure, but I learned from it, I practiced, and I eventually lifted off. So, it's a good pose in my opinion. So in terms of props for today, none are necessary. Just bring your inner warrior with ya. All right, let's get moving. Howdy friends, we are going to begin today's practice in mountain pose. So find your way to mountain. You can go to the top edge of your mat or in the middle of your mat, like what I'm doing. The reason why we are starting off in mountain today is because we want to establish a very strong base or a foundation for our Warrior 3 practice. So our feet are hip distance apart. Press into all four corners of the feet, including the little toesies. Rock your pelvis forward, kind of imagining a pendulum swinging forward. What this ends up doing is it creates length in our back body, really activates the muscles of the low core, and it engages our thighs. Loop your shoulders up and down the back body, creating an opening and a length in the chest. And the crown of our head reaches towards the sky, finding a little bit of a generous chin tuck to lengthen through the back of the neck. We're just going to be here for 3 breath cycles, so feel free to close your eyes or even keep a soft gaze looking directly past your nose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Breathe in. Sigh it out maybe. Breathe in. Exhale. Open your eyes if they were closed. Our right leg is going to serve as our standing leg. So kick that left foot back, keeping the toes planted on the mat and the heels still raised away from the mat. Now, in terms of the placement of the back leg, I'm not really too concerned about that, just as long as you're feeling stable. But if you want to visualize yourself almost doing like a high lunge, but a more narrow high lunge, obviously, you can do that. I also encourage all of us to keep a generous bend in our standing leg. I personally like to keep a bend in my back leg as well, because when we go to lift off, it kind of gives me some momentum, like a spring. So I personally like to keep a bend in both of my legs. Our hips will be facing directly in front of us, so towards the front edge of our mat. Our hands, what to do with the hands, right? Our hands can either come into prayer position like so. I personally like to do this because then it really reminds me to, lengthen through my back body as I enter this posture. So that way my sternum is reaching towards my thumbs. Another option is to bring the hands to the waistline. This can really help you maintain balance and stability as we grow this posture. All right, those are your options. Feel free to choose whatever variation works for you. But I know we are ready to lift off. Let's do it. So again, our standing leg It's gonna really have to hold us up here, okay? So really press into that right foot. Spread your toes if you need to create more stability. We're gonna lift off, maybe just even like play around with just like that act of lifting up off of the ground. Just finding your balance, playing around with it. Okay, we're hinging at our hip as we do this as well, and our torso going towards the front edge of our mats. So if you're good here, let's begin that slow journey of lifting the back leg away from the mat. We're trying to bring that leg, our back leg, as parallel to the mat as possible. Now our foot is not just like dangling there. Okay, we're gonna press it into an imaginary wall, keeping the foot very active and bright. Maybe spreading the toes. Our torso becomes roughly parallel to the mat as well. Our gaze is now directly on our mats, and our crown of our head is reaching forward. All right, now it is important to talk about this before we go any further. If you fall, it's okay. Just get right back on up and continue to explore this posture. It takes a lot of work. It is a challenging posture, so just keep on trying. Watch your practice evolve. It's quite shocking. You know, I remember my first attempt, and it was, like I said in my intro video, it was really rough, but I kept on trying. So that's what I encourage all of us to do. All right, by now you're probably like, oh dear, like, what do I do next? Okay, so with your arms, you can reach them out in front of you, palms facing towards each other, biceps towards the ears. You're sort of making like a T shape with your body. Let's all just take a deep breath in together, and exhale, we gracefully, as graceful as possible, come back to a mountain pose. Wow, that was amazing. Side one, check, check. That was a terrible check mark. You know what I meant. Anyways, okay, side two, let's check it out, okay? So again, let's reestablish our connection to the earth, find our mountain pose, feet hip distance apart again, loop the shoulders, rock the pelvis forward, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Okay, so now our left foot will be our standing leg for this posture. So kick the right foot back, toes planted on the mat, heel still raised from the mat, keeping a nice generous bend in both our standing leg and also our back leg. Hips square to the front edge of our mat, gaze directly in front of us. So again, spread your toes, your left toes on the mat to really feel that connection to the earth. Are you ready? I think we are. You can bring your hands to prayer position or to your waist, whatever you prefer. Or try a combo of the two. Begin to hinge forward at your hip, torso coming towards the front edge of your mat as you lift the back leg away from the mat, pressing that back foot into an imaginary wall, keeping that foot active. Our leg as parallel to the mat as possible, and our torso parallel to the mat as possible. Gaze directly down in front of you. If you wish to try out the full expression of the posture, reach your arms forward out in front of you. Again, bicep towards the ears, palms towards each other. Cool. You may notice that each side is different. I definitely feel more of a tremble on this side, more heat building on my left side than I did to my right side. It's just good information. Let's take a deep breath in together and exhale, bring it back to that glorious mountain pose. Whew. I know I'm sweating. Let me tell you, you did an awesome job today. I don't even need to be there with you in your room because I know that you did the very best that you could possibly do and you tried. You are my hero just for trying. So that was Warrior 3. Tell me, what did you think of this posture? Feel free to share your experiences with me in the comment section down below. As always, I invite questions as well. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Yoga with Rachel channel. It is the best way to support free yoga content for all. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy days to practice with me. I appreciate you. Take good care, everyone. Bye for now.